Hi, I'm Tricia Franklin, creator and founder of the humanitarian project A Million Trees for Michael, where we plant trees in honor of the late singer Michael Jackson. We are also committed to carrying on with Michael's message of love, peace, and unity. And so I am making a series of videos to spread this message to MJ fans all over the world. Why am I doing this? Because Michael asked me to do so when he came to me in a dream and healed me from a debilitating illness. In this dream, Michael said to me, "Tricia, you have to get better because we have a lot of work to do." All you have to do is look around and you can see that our world is changing in so many ways right now. Why is that, you may ask? Because we are starting a new era called the Soul Light Era, a time predicted by many ancient traditions for thousands of years. It is a time of spiritual awakening and grand illumination for humanity, where we will eventually create heaven on earth and ascend to a higher dimension. At the present moment, however, we are in a time of great transition, which includes the purification of our Mother Earth, with many earth changes coming to our planet. Michael was an avid reader, and he had a strong connection to God, and I believe he knew what was happening, and he wanted to do what he could to help us and even warn us. We all know how much Michael loved his fans and humanity, and he always wanted to do whatever he could to help. That includes teaching his fans the truth, trying to instill in them the importance of love, kindness, unity, compassion, and especially coming back to God. It is my belief that Michael Jackson was so much more than a singer and dancer. I believe that he was indeed a messenger from God, here to pave the way for these coming events in the most amazing time in the history of our planet. No one did more than MJ in recent years to bring humanity together as he did. Music is the universal language, a bridge which can transcend all differences and every kind of separatism. Michael's music created miracles everywhere he went. MJ was beloved by young and old, by people from every nation, every race and religion, and even every political affiliation. He had, and still has, tens of millions of followers. In the teachings of ageless wisdom, the spiritual hierarchy speaks of sending various spiritual world teachers to reach humanity depending on our consciousness at that time. Why couldn't MJ be one of those teachers? I have delved into his writings, and my hypothesis is that Michael was indeed a world teacher and a messenger from God. Jesus said, "By the fruit you will know the tree." Look at MJ's life and all the good he inspired and continues to inspire. Even the Dalai Lama says, "My religion is kindness," and Michael certainly promoted that. When Michael was just a little boy watching television with his mother, he would see the suffering of starving children in Africa, and he would say through tearful eyes, "Someday when I grow up, I'm going to help them, Mom." Catherine's love and devotion to God was a wonderful example for Michael, instilling in him not only a passionate love for God, but also a kind and compassionate nature. As he grew up, Michael was never shy about expressing his deep love for God. He would often say, "I will never stop helping and loving people the way Jesus said to." Over and over, he credited God for being the inspiration behind his music. In interviews with Ebony magazine, Michael said, "No one can quite say what the creative process is because I have nothing to do with it, of course. It's created in space. It's God's work, not mine. And I wrote, "Will you be there at my California house, Neverland in California?" I didn't think about it hard. That's why it's hard to take credit for the songs that I write, because I just always feel that it's done from above. I feel fortunate for being that instrument through which music flows. I'm just the source through which it comes. I can't take credit for it because it's God's work. He's just using me as the messenger. Like Michael, I too was blessed to receive the gift of a passionate love for God from my mother, although it was laced with metaphysical teachings. As a youngster, I shared the same compassionate, caring nature that MJ had for the world, and knew that someday I would do something to help humanity. Starting when I was very little, I would go to the park each day after school for my daily visits with God. I would sit on the swings, head tilted back, looking up at the clouds and sky, just talking to God and telling Him how much I loved Him. I would always end our conversations the same way, telling Him, "Someday when I am a grown-up, I'm going to do something for you, something really big." A few years later, when I was about 14, I came across a little red book in a dusty old used bookstore, my favorite. The book was called The Greatest Thing in the World by Henry Drummond, and it was written in the late 1800s. It was all about 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter in the Bible, and it expounded upon the principles of love. There I found the words that would impact my life forever. Mr. Drummond said, "Life is really very short, so we should lose no opportunity to show a kindness to another being, for in doing so, we are showing God how much we love Him by being kind to His other children." Also, at that time, I began to wonder why we are here and what is the meaning of life. I had some friends at school who didn't believe in God, and after a while, they had me questioning that maybe there wasn't a God after all. Shortly afterward, I had an experience while on vacation at Mammoth Mountain in California that would change my life. I was taking a stroll all by myself along a wooded path, and as I walked, I marveled at the majesty of these mountains, silently thanking God for the incredible beauty that He gave to us. I looked up at a huge pine tree on my left, and I saw a ray of light coming through the branches. Suddenly, this ray of light enveloped me, and I was surrounded in this bright light. While not audible, I heard a very distinct voice in my head say, "The reason you are here is to have a love relationship with me. Someday you will get married, and the love you experience with your husband and children will be wonderful, but it won't be as fulfilling as the love relationship you have with me." Then the voice said very slowly, "I am the reason you are here." This experience was accompanied with a feeling of just pure bliss and joy, and a profound sense of love as I had never ever felt before. It wasn't really a human feeling, it was very supernatural. So now I can say to you with absolute assurance that there is a God. He is real and He is spectacular. I have come to know that God is the fullness of life. So now I feel a responsibility to be a reporter or educator of sorts, along with my friend Michael Jackson, to share with the world and the millions of MJ fans spiritual insights and teachings that can help humanity at this critical hour. Michael's main message to the world was love. In the MJ movie, This Is It, he said, "Love each other because we are all one, and take care of the planet. We have 4 years to get it right, or else it's irreversible damage." Many people still do not realize what is happening in the world right now, with a monumental shift in consciousness, along with monumental earth changes about to take place. We need to let people know that we are not alone in this event, that God loves us more than we can imagine, and that He, along with the spiritual hierarchy, does indeed have a plan for humanity at this auspicious time. As I always say, it's not about religion, it's about luck, L-U-C-K, which stands for love, unity, compassion, and kindness. If we all began to adopt these principles as a way of life and lived in love, our world would be a very different place. This is the first generation of young people to turn away from God, mainly, I believe, because of the hypocrisy of the church, seeing so much harm and killing done in the name of God. I am blessed to know many young people in our MJ family of love, and I know you truly love Michael and you do want to help heal the world. You can do this by seeing God in a different way and realizing how much He loves you, for you are indeed His children. He does not want to judge you or punish you. Like your own earthly parents, He wants you to be happy and joyful and fulfilled. We need to remember that we are not alone in this. There actually is a plan for this time in history, put into place by God and the spiritual hierarchy. Also, we all have angels and guides helping us, and all we have to do is ask them, and they are happy to help us. God has given us the gift of free will, so it is up to us to ask for help. There have been many predictions of what will happen to our planet, but not even God's spiritual hierarchy can predict what will happen, as the final outcome will depend on the collective consciousness at the time. If the majority of mankind is in fear, we will have a very different outcome than if we are united together in love, understanding, compassion, and kindness. With tens of millions of MJ fans in the world, if just us fans began to live this way, we could make a huge difference in the world, and MJ's message would continue to live on and spread to every corner of the earth. One of my teachers, Patricia Cota Robles, founder of the New Age of Humanity's Purpose, has been writing about this time on our planet for several decades. In her book, Who Am I and Why Am I Here?, Patricia talks about the many prophecies of this time, including prophecies from the Bible and from Nostradamus. She says, any divinely inspired prophecy that foretells of an upcoming negative event is intended to avert that event. A negative fulfilled prophecy is a failed prophecy. The company of heaven never gives information about negative events if humanity cannot change what is predicted to happen. The only time the beings of light reveal negative things to us is if we can do something now to correct the situation. If there is a challenging event that humanity needs to experience and we cannot do anything to change it, the beings of light will not tell us about it. That would only amplify our fear, which would be a distraction from our divine plan. She also says the divine intent of this information is not to perpetuate fear, but to motivate us into positive action. So that is the main purpose of my message, to motivate people into positive action and give them hope that humanity can survive anything if we come together and adopt the principles of luck and unity consciousness. I also want to educate people on the most important reasons we are here on this planet, which is to serve and to come home to God. Jesus gave us a simple but powerful message when He gave us the greatest commandment from Matthew 22:37. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's so simple. Just love God, love yourself, and love others. I remember the first time I heard the word namaste with its meaning. The God in me sees and honors the God in you. And when we are both at that place, we are one. I was so excited to hear of this new paradigm, and my heart longed for the day I could finally experience this new way of living. Then one day I realized I could do my part to make it happen much more quickly. So that is my primary intent for sharing this information. All it would take to change our world, to heal it and make it a better place, is to come back to the realization that we are first and foremost spiritual beings here on this planet to serve by giving our own unique gifts to the world and to love as many people as we can throughout our lives. If we can let go of our fear-based thinking and open our hearts to divine love, seeing everything through eyes of love, then we can, as Michael said, bring love back into the world. Won't you join me and our MJ family to set an intention to live in love, understanding, compassion, and kindness? I will be making more videos with ways we can all create our own well-being so we can live in love, peace, and harmony, as we need to activate peace and love in our own lives first before we can spread it throughout the world. So, thank you for watching, and I send love and peace to all of you. Thank you so much. I do love you.